What kind of things can be done to bolster confidence in small business owners to continue to do business and to continue to grow their businesses? And we start with Dylan this time, please.
Sure. There's a big difference between risk and uncertainty, and I'll spare everyone the economics discussion. But basically, if you don't know what's going to happen in the future, it's very hard to invest. The only level of government that can give predictability to future costs, quite frankly, is the federal government. The federal government can deficit spend. And so there needs to be a series of policies that are put in place which give protections to extend debt for local businesses. Now, one of the ways you can do that in the state of Rhode Island, we've created a non-liquidating receivership program. It's a fancy way of saying that you can go to court to get protection from your creditors without losing control of your business. Now, if Congress focused on that, it could have a loan program that extended debts for restaurants and other businesses generally, but restaurants in particular, that basically kicks out debt payments for a longer period of time. This gives restaurants a fixed cost concept, so their view of the world shifts from uncertainty, where they don't know what's coming, to certainty, where they know that, okay, this is exactly what my costs are going to be over time. I know that while the pandemic is going on, my costs won't go up, and that will allow investment, and that will kind of deal with the psychological issue of the pandemic. Again, that's also why you need a monthly stimulus. You can't do it once. If you have a monthly stimulus, people know that that check is going to come. Small businesses know that everyone around them has a check that's coming. Without doing things that are systematic and sustained, you create uncertainty, and the psychological impacts are hard to walk away from.
Congressman?
Yeah, it's going to be a very scary time for businesses right now, not knowing whether they're going to and when they're going to be able to get back to normal operations. First of all, in order for us to be able to get through this crisis, we are going to have more testing, and that's something else that is vital. If we had a robust testing everywhere, it's going to be the key really to opening up the economy and getting things back to normal more quickly. I was very proud in both of the COVID aid packages that we passed to provide a significant amount of some money, billions of dollars, for developing vaccines and also developing antivirals. That's something that's critically important. I think I know we're on track right now toward getting a vaccine soon. I've spoken directly with Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's a friend. I've known him for more than a decade. I called him early on during the crisis, and I asked him his thoughts on, is this the real deal? Where are we going with this? And he said, yes, it looks like we've got a global pandemic on our hands. And then as time went on, we realized how serious this is and the impact. Originally, he thought that we were going to have a vaccine maybe within 12 to 18 months at best if we were going to get a vaccine. He said it's very challenging. More recently, I just spoke to him just a few weeks ago, and Dr. Fauci told me that he is, as he said publicly, that because of the progress that's been made on a vaccine, that he is as a reasonable optimism and confidence that if we're going to have a vaccine, we actually could have it by the end of the year or the beginning of next year. And obviously, if that's the case, it's going to help everyone breathe a big sigh of relief. And that doesn't even mention the antivirals that we're developing and some treatments that, again, will help people to stay alive, keep them healthy, prevent the worst aspects of the virus taking hold. But we're doing everything possible right now, leaving no stone unturned to get through the public health crisis, at the same time making sure that people can weather this economic storm that we're in.
Okay. Dylan, anything you want to add there, or can we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I mean, just quickly, I would say a big thing about uncertainty in psychology is knowing that your future is safe. And a big problem with Congress is they don't consider anything past the next tweet. Really, we need proactive governance, not reactionary politics. Is this the real deal? Yes. Then why don't we have a plan for schools? Why didn't we develop that back in March when we knew this was a real deal? When we had economic collapses before, why didn't we make plans for the next economic collapse? This constant turning over of reactionary politics instead of proactive governance is why people have lost faith in Congress, and it's why they do not believe that Congress has its best interest at play.